And you know, stuff like that. Plus, they also stuffed. That's one of the problems. In this game, they did it better before because they kind of have to work together in a way. Like Ratchet was just wanting to get off the planet, and then they're just kind of working together to get through things. And you know, they're both trying to, like, Ratchet at first is you know, kind of selfish and, you know, wants to be Anyway, Ratchet wants to be, you know, the hero, or, well, not the hero, but just the guy trying to get through, and... Actually, I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, he's just a little self-centered in this, at the first part of this game. But he, but in Clank, you know, he's just trying to stop Chairman Drek. You know, it's that works a little better, basically, because they've got some, you know, they've got some tension between each other at some points, and you know, they kind of realize what true friends they are, and you know, by the end of it. So, yeah. They didn't do that for the remake. They're just automatically pals. And honestly, in the remake, Ratchet and Clank really didn't get a whole lot of screen time for their own movie. Like, for, you know, for a Ratchet and Clank movie, you would expect to see more Ratchet and Clank, but they only got like half the screen time, if anything. It was more like... The movie was more like the Galactic Rangers movie featuring Ratchet Clank and Captain Cork. Is what it was. The Galactic Rangers are a part of, or you know, the Ratchet Clank universe, the later Ratchet Clank universe. But yeah, just, the gameplay is not bad, but I look back at it and I'm just like, it's not all that great. I mean, I'm sure if I come back to it and then play it again, it's like, I may think a little differently, but I don't know. The characters in this, like, okay, someone pointed this out one time. In this game, and so, the first few games, like, whenever they talk to each other, there's a little bit more movement, and they don't just... Sometimes they're just kind of stale whenever they're not talking. They're just kind of there emoting and stuff. But, well, it depends on the scene, on the cutscene. But, they don't move a whole lot, but in these games they actually do. Like, they do a lot of, movement and, you know, whenever they talk. Well, then again, like, in some of the later games, they just kind of have it to where whenever you talk to someone, and it's not really a cutscene per se, it's just talking to them, like in, you know, like some games you do, like in RPGs and stuff. But still, they could move around a little more. Now, if you're gonna ask me, like, what is my favorite PS2 Ratchet and Clank game, it's a hard decision between... I like this game, but it's... In comparison to the rest of them, it's my sort of least favorite. But, I mean, that doesn't mean that I hate it, because it's still... I think it's really good. But, there's a certain charm to these first Insomniac games. Well, at least this one and the first Spyro. But, for me, it's a mix. It's somewhere between, like... I can't decide between the second one, the third one, and the fourth, and Deadlocked. Like, Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, and Deadlocked are kind of equally to me. They're different, but they're equal. Like, there's a lot of stuff I like about, there's a lot of improvements on, up your arsenal, but at the same time, there's some stuff that feels like they didn't do as well or weren't as well designed. So that's why I'm just like, which, you know, I was thinking like, I don't know for sure. And Deadlocked is a very different beast, but it's still very good for what it is. Like it's different from your typical Ratchet Clank game, but it still feels like a Ratchet Clank game. Let's see. Now that one, Clank is never on your back, but he is still in the game, so it's not like he's just gone. That's why they call it Ratchet Deadlocked and not Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked. Of course, if you live in I think Europe or somewhere else, it's Ratchet Gladiator or something like that, or Gladiator something like that. And I will say the PS3 version is not exactly the best version. I mean, unless you want to get those trophies, it's not exactly the best version to have. Because, well, whenever we get to it sometime, maybe you'll see it. I may play the PS3 version. But if you just want to play a better version of it and your PS2 is still working, play the PS2 version. Unless you just absolutely want those trophies, like I said. And a little bit of a smoother controller. There we go. It's, yeah. Well, if you look at some of the cutscenes of Ratchet Deadlock, there's a lot of choppiness to it. Well, that's just the cutscenes, and there's some other errors and stuff like that. Otherwise, they're close. I mean, it obviously looks cleaner. Like this looks cleaner than the PS2 version. Even though it's not in HD, it still looks a little cleaner. Being sure there was thought I saw a health pack or something over here. But you know, let's see. Yeah, these guys are not that hard to kill. Don't take that long to kill either. Oop. Okay, I thought I saw something.
Sweet!
Tooth.
Gadgetron's suck cannon can vacuum up multiple enemies, then fire them out as high-caliber missiles. Caution, enemies must be small enough to fit inside the barrel.
It's really funny. Spoiler, well, it's not so much a spoiler, but there is a thing, there's a new game plus mode in this, and like every Ratchet and Clank, to where it's like a little bit harder, but you start out with you have all the weapons you got. So the weapons so whatever you find this, or stuff like this, it'll say, you found this again, or you know, ... again. So it's just kind of like, you know, repeating, just doing it in a funny way. The suck cannon's okay, not the best. You kind of have to have it out for it to work really well. It's just okay.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
Hey there, scale ball. I don't know what you call it. Let's see the missions. We're done. Ah. I could get to see a doctor. I don't know though. I should or not. Ugh. By the way, we keep changing in this game. We keep changing ships for different reasons. But in the remake, I think, and in the and the second game onward. And like all that stuff, we end up having just one ship. Let's see. Well, that's beautiful. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Wait. Alright, I'm back. Let's see. Which one should I do first? Let's get this. Oh wait, I know where I need to go. Let's go here first. Where the trash, so I can trespass through here. Right, so this needs to go here. These need to go here, and then this one needs to go here. There we go. And this is where we play as Clank. Unlike the first Jak and Daxter, well, I can't remember. I don't think you used Daxter in the first one. You don't get to use. I think you don't get to use Daxter in the first Jak and Daxter. You do in the second and third one, but and then obviously there's the game Daxter. But in the first Ratchet and Clank, you actually get to use Clank. I mean, Naughty Dog might have looked at this and said, "Hey, maybe we should also have the player be able to use Daxter as well." Now, Clank is a little bit slow, but he's all right. The best way to use him, honestly, is in Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time. Can't tell if that's not a robot. I thought it almost looked like a robot face.
Jump.
I know this music really well.
Button again, while in the air to glide.
Jump, jump. I know a lot of this music by heart. I mean, some things I may forget a little bit about, but then I'm like, wait, I know what's coming up. So that's why I was able to do that tune.